Can a toxic relationship cause ulcerative colitis? And the answer is yes. This is the way I'm speaking is called German New Medicine. So it's caused by a conflict shock, a stressful event that caught us off guard. So the one example I'm using is from a female, and she found herself stuck in a relationship. So this female, she didn't have a job, and she got into a relationship with a guy, and a couple, like a year into the relationship, she didn't have her own source of income. She was kind of very reliant on this person, but at the same time, he did something where that being the conflict shock, where she's like, I can't digest this guy. I can't digest him, this ugly piece of crap, and I can't get him out of my life because I'm like financially dependent on him. So what the body did, so when this happens, we have like this little chart here. This is kind of like represents like our autonomic nervous system. So life's going along just fine, and then we have the shock. So let's say he like kicks her cat or something like that. Oh my God, I live with a monster. He kicked my cat. I want to get out of this relationship, but I can't. Like kicking, he's indigestible. What is the indigestible thing? He is. I can't put, why would he kick my cat? It's such an ugly, disgusting thing he would do. What does the colon do, guys? It holds poop, it absorbs water, and it shits things out. That's what it does. And so she wanted to shit this guy out of her life, but she couldn't because she was financially dependent on him. So, conflict active. What are some, we don't get the symptoms until we get the resolutions. We're developing extra gut cells, okay? You don't have symptoms. You're just stressed out. You don't have any gut level symptoms on this time. But then it gets resolved one day. How would it get resolved? It really depends on the person. Maybe he does something really nice and she all of a sudden feels like, oh, he's not that bad. I actually don't mind staying in this relationship. That could be a resolution. And now the body is getting rid of these extra gut cells. And that involves blood, mucus, and pain. We're removing physical flesh from the body. It's going to involve diarrhea, cramping. And when that process so water enters the tissue to help break it down. And then once all that cell removal is complete, there's something called the epileptoid crisis. There's going to be like a fever, and it squishes your blood vessels and it pushes the water out of the tissue. And that's when somebody has a fever and they're usually pretty darn sick. Someone usually has they go get admitted to the hospital when this happens or when this happens. But most people go through this and they're just sick for a day or two, the vast majority of the time. And then we go into the scarring phase where symptoms are quite minimal. So that's what it looks like in a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world. So this woman I'm talking about, she, 1 week he's not that bad to be with, and next week like, oh, what an asshole. I can't stand this guy. I need to get out of this relationship, back into the conflict active phase. And she was with this person for 3 or 4 years. How many times does this happen over the course of 3 or 4 years? And so eventually this person was able to come up with a way to get out of the relationship. She got a job, she found a place to live, and she got out of the relationship for good, and the healing phase was allowed to complete. Now, the most ways that most people look for this, where this turns into a total train wreck, thankfully this person knew German New Medicine, and they were able to manage their symptoms pretty well as they were migrating their way through the conflict. But what happens for most people is, let me simplify this a little bit. So let's say we're in a perfect world where the person is getting out of the relationship, right? And we don't have any conflict relapses. But on this day, when she gets out of the relationship and she's scot-free, she sees blood in the toilet, okay? So that is a new conflict shock for some people, I need to digest my symptoms. I want to get rid of these shitty ulcerative colitis symptoms. So, I don't know if you say that, but boom, another conflict shock. They're digesting their symptoms for a couple of weeks, and then they find some stupid diet that's not going to do shit, and they resolve it because they like think that they finally resolved their symptoms. Oh, I got this diet, my symptoms are going away. And so it goes into the healing phase, and they get symptoms here, and they start freaking out, and then their conflict, they don't even get through here to the epicrisis. They're back conflict active again. They find some new stupid diet. They're back into the healing phase. They get here, they go on some new drug, and it's just back and forth. It turns into a total nightmare. Okay? So this is what, bless me. And so this is how it really turns into a nightmare. This is so easy to cancel out when you understand G&M. So many people get stuck on this. You cancel that out with G&M. You work on your life. You get through these conflicts. You're motivated to do it now because you can see the writing on the wall. You're like, oh my God, if I don't deal with this, I'm going to crap myself to death. Or if I don't deal with this in a healthier way, I'm going to crap myself to death. So this is what's going on behind the scenes. Even Dr. Crohn's, he's like, yeah, it's caused by stress. Everybody with gut issues, they got all sorts of mental issues going on. They're super stressed out. So this is what we need to do to get better, guys. Find our conflicts, come to peace with our symptoms, and find a resolution to our partially resolved conflicts. Stop blaming food. It's really that simple. So I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I redid my website. You guys won't be able to notice, but it was like all back-end stuff. I've started offering one-on-one coaching, and you can apply to do that down below. And I'm also redoing the 30-day plan. I'm making it better. And I'm also going to be upping the price on the Rapid Gut Healing Program soon, after I redo this 30-day plan and make some upgrades to the program. So guys, if you want to get in while you can, do that now. All the links are down in the description. But yeah, this is what's going on with. Let me know if you guys like this. What is your story with ulcerative colitis? What is the drama in your life that started your ulcerative colitis? I'd like to know. So it's always a very interesting story that unfolds when I work with somebody. I get to do the timeline and I get to see all the drama. I'm always shocked by like some of these shy people, and they just have like these super dramatic things interwoven throughout their life. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.